Hey, this is Klaus from Plant-Based News. We're in Leicester Square in central London at the Top Gun Maverick premiere. We're on the red carpet and we're asking celebs what they think about veganism. We've got a quick question. What do you guys think of veganism? That's one random. Can I ask a quick question?
Go on.
I'm asking speakers and guests tonight how they morally justify eating animals.
Okay.
What would your response to that be?
That's a good question. I'll have to think about it.
Well, asking guests a quick question. You look like exactly the kind of person that would give a great answer.
Go on.
What do you think of veganism? Can I ask you one question, please? What do you think about a plant-based diet?
I love plant-based diet. I'm all about that. Love it.
Yeah, for real.
I reckon he's fine. Yeah. What do you think of veganism? It's a bit of a different one, but how do you morally justify eating animals?
I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm vegan.
Thank you, that's great.
How do you morally I actually think, I don't think you can.
Yeah.
There's a guy called Cosmic Skeptic who I think his moral arguments on veganism almost, I haven't seen anyone reply with a valid moral argument against him. I don't think it personally is morally justifiable.
Do you align your kind of philosophy with your daily actions?
Mostly, yeah. I try and cut meat out of my diet pretty much completely. Sort of like doing it slowly, like reducing, like cut red meat out first. And now I still eat a bit of chicken and fish, but I'm getting there.
That's cool. Do you consider yourself an environmentalist?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about you?
100%, yeah.
Are you vegan?
Not vegan. Have been vegetarian in the past. Would definitely go back to it. I did it for Lent, and it was actually surprisingly a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, definitely would go back to it.
I actually try and focus on a vegetarian diet.
Nice.
So I try and balance my diet more than anything else to give myself some.
More
It's
plant-based.
better for the dietary system in my
More of a
personal opinion
plant-based
as well.
kind of guy.
It's a preference, yeah. And it's
Looking
some
good.
really good foods.
Looking good for it, brother.
Oh, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
I think everyone should be allowed to eat what they want to eat. I mean, personally, I'm a car-carrying carnivore, but I did have some vegan stuff the other day, and it was fine. So, yeah, listen, if it helps the planet, that's all good, right? But yeah, it wouldn't be my first choice on a menu, but I've got no issues if anyone else wants to eat it.
What do you think of Burger King right over there for a month, went 100% vegan a couple of weeks ago? Did you know about that?
I think, again, these things have got to change. You haven't got to read much to understand that the balance is wrong right now. There's too much. We're eating too much meat. There's too much land being cut down for agriculture and for meat production. So you can't argue with it. So why not?
What would make you consider a more plant-based diet or an exclusively vegan diet?
Honestly, I don't think I could do it. I just enjoy meat too much. But I don't know. If the flavours get better, if the textures get better. But yeah, I'd try it.
Veganism. It's good because for two reasons. One, because it's healthier, and then two, well, from when it's a human to a cat, dog, we're all animals. So I guess not eating another living thing helps.
Any other comments about veganism?
No, other than as long as you're doing good things for the community, whether that's eating meat or not littering on the floor, progression.
So I did try vegan for a year, and then I resorted back to like eating meat, or like I tried to cut down from like beef and just having white meat like chicken and fish and stuff like that. So that's what I kind of eat because it's more healthy, like omega oils and stuff like that. So that's
You can get all your nutrients from a vegan diet. Did you not feel very good, or what was the effects?
Feel good, but it was a drastic change for me. So my body I felt a bit weird.
In what way?
Like, because it was quite a drastic change of just cutting off a complete like white meats and red meats and stuff like that. Yeah. So I did get effects of like losing energies, but I think it's it's more to do with taking the time to research, basically, and having like eating the right things. Like I was eating beetroot, like nuts and all certain things that are like high in protein and like So it's basically the research. If you eat the right things, then of course you wouldn't lose the nutrients that you would get from
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I just love meat, I love rice, and I eat it every day, and I'm never fed up of food, do you understand me? Because you always get hungry. But I just feel like vegans are just people that just got fed up of food, and they're like, oh, can I try something different? Because they're fed up of it. That's the way I see veganism, and to be honest, a lot of vegan food are not really healthy. A lot of vegan food are not healthy still. So,
what about you though? If I said to you I went vegan for the environment, what would you think of that?
Yeah, so I don't have a problem with vegans and what everyone should do. It's like it's up to you what you want to eat. There's a lot of people that don't eat meat. There's a lot of people that are vegetarians. There's a lot of different stuff, but I just think it's everyone's opinion of what they want to eat. I don't have a problem with it.
Different personal choice, different perspective, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But what about the perspective of the animal, though?
Yeah, but everyone says like, oh, you eat meat, you eating animals. Vegans, they eat plants, they eat animal food as well. And obviously, for you to be a vegan, no one's really vegans.
We eat plants, right? And we kill plants.
Yeah, but obviously...
But the difference is, right, number one, plants don't have a central nervous system, brother. Animals do. So there's a difference there. We can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet. So it's a choice to eat meat. We don't need to out of necessity. Lions are obligate carnivores. They need to eat meat, so it's a different situation for them. Us humans in the 21st century, you don't need it to survive and thrive. I know loads of athletes that are vegan.
So you've got 8 billion people on the planet, they all decide to eat the fucking vegan.
Plant-based diet, yeah.
Plant-based diet.
Grains, legumes, whatever they want.
What's going to happen to global warming, the rainforests, all the plants, all the
It'll be
fields?
great for that, because animal agriculture is the leading cause of those crises.
We're going to be eating it.
There's more plant casualties in the animal agricultural industry because animals are really inefficient converters of calories in to calories out. Cows require 25 calories of food to produce this 1 calorie of beef. Even the most efficient animal products, chicken, require 7 calories of food to produce this 1 calorie of food, chicken, right? It's inefficient. Right. And basically, if the world did go vegan, of course, it's not going to happen overnight, but if we transition to that, we wouldn't have that issue that you're talking about.
Calories. We're talking about humans eating calories. Right? We'll just chomp it up. We wouldn't. You see calories in the field all day long eating grass. Imagine a human wouldn't.
But that's not the reality for 99% of livestock.
Say like realistically 8 billion people that are all vegan. We don't eat meat. Where's the vegetation? Where's it going to go? We're going to eat it.
Most land at the moment, if we went vegan, 75% less land will be used for agriculture. That'll rewild and be great for the environment. It'll be great for climate change, great for biodiversity. Honestly, I'm not trying to sound patronising or puritanical. There's a massive misconception about this stuff, and this is what I've learned over the last couple of years, brother. I'm telling you, I promise you, I swear, the most comprehensive study of its kind by the University of Oxford said that 83% of farmland is used for meat and dairy. That produces only 18% of food. It's really inefficient in the system. So it's the opposite of what you say.
Geezer, I don't know the ins and outs, but I'm just saying, you look at the figures.
That's why we're embedded in a society that's where meat eating is ubiquitous and normal, right? Because people aren't educated.
You've grown up with
Yeah, exactly. Same with me for over 20 years.
You know what I'm saying? It's a primeval instinct. It's like with the dog wants meat. The cat wants...
Is that a justification for it, though? Like if I said like rape is natural and we've done it in medieval times, so that's a justification.
Well, look,
what's the difference?
Well, look, my little sister was raped, so I'm well against that, but that's all about personal preference. I'm saying personal preference, if you think I want to fuck you, I'm going to fuck you. That's personal preference.
And that's morally reprehensible.
Morally, you're brought up to go, no, I don't want that. That's what.
Because as a society, we've evolved. As a species, we've evolved, right?
Right.
And so we think of rape as morally reprehensible. I'm saying when we... Right, exactly. I'm saying when the world changes and we stop eating meat, dairy and eggs every day, we'll get rid of the cognitive dissonance and we'll look back at what we did at animals and be like, shit, that was messed up, brother.
Vegan?
Yeah.
My sister is vegan, but I like pork.
We know that these animals suffer. Have you seen slaughterhouse footage?
Yes. No,
the gas chambers?
It was live. Like my uncle got on top of the pig and...
Wow. How do you find that?
Amazing.
Wow, really? So you saw it? Because when I see animal slaughter, I'm repulsed.
Really?
Yeah, man. Like, I don't understand how you can look at it and be fine with it.
It was so tasty when it was fresh.
Right. So you're putting your basically like taste buds above like life of animal and suffering, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's right or wrong. I was raised like that, so yeah.
Seem like a very educated, progressive kind of person. Why not subscribe to this idea of eating plants to reduce suffering around the world?
Yeah. No, yeah. Like we could literally survive only eating plants. But you have to know what you're eating. You could survive like that.
It's the same with meat. If you eat a meat-based diet, you have to know what you're eating. You can have a really unhealthy meat-based diet, and you can have a really unhealthy plant-based diet, right? It's the same thing. It's just about kind of like reducing suffering. So I'm inspired to inspire you. Like what would you need in order to make that switch to a more plant-based diet?
Maybe this interview with you made me think about it.
I like eating steak. I like my steak rare.
It's like personal preference, you mean?
Personal preference. I mean, I've grown up. I like fish. I like meat. But people
the preference of the animal.
I mean, when you look at a steak on the plate, you don't think about the animal. You can't.
Disconnect, right?
It's disconnected.
If you had to kill the animal, would you be able to?
I mean, if my dog died and was like, look, we have to eat the dog, I'd probably think it's all about survival.
Do we need animal products for survival though in the 21st century?
Well, we needed it in the primeval times.
Do we need it now, though?
We needed it then and we need it now.
Do we need it now?
If we didn't have meat now, the world would go into chaos.
If we're going to survive as a species, we have to abolish animal agriculture. We have to evolve and move forward, and we do that by going vegan. I'm telling you, brother, that's just the only way we will survive. That's the irony of this situation.
Say we all go vegan, right, and we don't kill any animals. What are we going to do about the population?
So, less and less animals will be bred into existence, so the world's not going to go vegan overnight.
The amount of animals, you're not killing.
But we wouldn't be, because the only reason we're breeding them is because of industry.
There's going to be more.
Let me just explain to you. The world isn't going to go vegan overnight. If the world went vegan tomorrow, it will be really bad for reasons that you just stated. In reality, it's going to happen over like a 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 year period, right? So less and less animals will be bred into existence. So we won't have the problem of surplus animals. I'm telling you, brother, the problem that you're saying isn't true.
I'll be honest with you.
I feel like you're trolling me.
I'm not trolling you. I'll be honest with you. The way the world's going, meat's going to get more and more rare. Do you know what I say? The prices are going up for meat. It's going to be more and more rare. Say you get a chicken kebab, large chicken kebab, be a small chicken kebab. Chicken's going to be more and more rare. It's going to be corn-based feds.
Like Burger King went 100% vegan for a month, and it's pledged to make 50% of its menu animal-free by 2030.
Some places in London just do vegan.
What do you think about that?
I mean, if it tastes the same, it tastes the same.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think, a lot of my friends and family have been vegetarian and vegan, and I definitely see them and respect them for those life choices. But for me, I love steak and I love meat and I just love the taste of it, and I think that there's no equivalent that tastes exactly like meat. But I think the industry is ever changing, and I think in regard of kind of the meats that are coming out, especially with that, it is becoming, nice, better tasting. Let's just put better tasting on there. I grew up in Australia. I grew up on a farm with lots of animals. I've always been connected to kind of the nature and the land and just the environment in general. And I think, there are parts of me that are annoyed at myself for kind of ignoring these issues, and especially ignoring the fact of how important they truly are, especially to the future of the people and future generations and our children and children to come. So yeah, climate change, environmental, animal rights, they are really important to me.
It's always like what I'm saying is, what I'm thinking is, it's always on what's your preference. So if it's like for me, if you're vegan, it's your preference.
Kind of like choice, right?
It's like your choice. For me, if I am like meat, I respect that you're vegan. And
what about respecting the animals, though?
For the animals, it's like, as I say earlier, it's like long time. Even the ancestors, they eat the animals. So if we don't eat the meat, what's gonna happen with these animals? They're just gonna continue producing and multiplying. So what's gonna happen with them?
It's supply and demand, so the less we buy into the system, the less animals will be bred. At the moment, we've got 78 billion land animals that are being bred every single year, right? As more and more people go vegan, less and less animals will be bred into existence. Were you aware of animal agriculture's impact on the environment? Were you aware that it's the leading cause of many environmental ills, including greenhouse gas emissions and climate change?
Yes, I'm totally realized, especially last few years, I traveled to Iceland. They cause a lot of damage for the animal because the climate change. So I am quite really sad to seeing this happen.
Would you consider going vegan yourself and sort of leading by example, taking it by the horns and just kind of going for it?
But the thing is, I am crazy love meat, but I have the for some of my friends that are vegan. I'm not totally against the vegan. I'm quite supportive, but from my perspective, I'm still would do for not vegan yet. Maybe we'll try with vegetarian in the future, but for vegan it's maybe a little bit, so far at this stage, difficult for me.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's nice to be important, it's more important to be nice.
Right. And be nice to animals, bro.
That's what I mean, it's nice to be important. Do you know what I'm saying?
Importance isn't important. Doing the right thing is the most important thing. And I think the right thing in this day and age, in society, in 21st century.
And if you feel morally within your heart and your soul, look, I don't want to eat a fucking animal that's been slaughtered, then do it, brother. Because if you do that,
not just for me, but for the other people, tannery workers that are exploited, indigenous people, they're getting their environment ripped apart because of our choices. It's a human rights issue as much as an animal rights issue, bro.
Things though, What you're doing now, you're going to have a little kid standing by you and he's going to look up to you going, well, if he ain't eating meat, I'm not going to eat meat.
Is that a good or bad thing?
Well, it's good because you're setting an example.
Thanks, man.
Well, there you go. It's a generation thing, what I was saying earlier. If there's a little guy that looks up to you and goes, well, look, if he's not eating meat, I'm not going to eat meat. And then he's going to grow up not eating meat, and the person below him's not going to grow up eating meat. So there you go. It's like a slide. There you go.
Do you think he can be...
You can't change the world overnight.
Right. Do you think he can be vegan and healthy?
Yeah.
Cool. Do it, man. Do it. Yeah. And I promise you can make a difference. I'm not talking about, like, don't call yourself, you don't need to call yourself vegan. You need to call yourself anything, right? These labels have stigma. They have utility, but they also have stigma. You can do the right thing without labeling yourself, right?
I mean...
Because for me, I didn't call myself a vegan for ages. And I was like, fuck it, I don't care now. But for ages, I was like an advocate for plant-based living for a variety of reasons, but I didn't call myself vegan. I was worried about the stigma. I just wanted to do the right thing, and you can do that, bruv. You don't need to be preachy. Let's be honest, mate. I'm a bit preachy, man, the way I've spoken to you today. Yeah, you have been. But it's because I really care about it, bro. I really, really care about it.
Well, the thing is, you've got to stick up for what you believe in, but you just have to accept the times, all right? But you have to accept that little guy next to you. This is what the most important thing is. You cannot change the world, but you can change that guy's world, that girl's world, that little one there. You are their world, right? So you set that world to them.
Set the example.
Set an example. There you go. Just like your dad done for you. Keep going for it and keep doing it. That's what I said to you. Like, if you just set an example, more and more people are going to do it, and there's a mass following. But
you seem like a progressive person, open-minded person. You don't mind change in the face of society. Basically, a lot of people in society are sheep, right? You seem open-minded.
100%.
Go for it. Check out.
I'm not open-minded. I'm just my person.
Check out The Game Changers, bruv, on Netflix. You're going to really like it, I can tell.
Go on in, I'll check it out.
Thanks a lot, mate. Appreciate your time.
What's your name? Thank you.
Klaus.